Hi, I'm Liron Cohen.
And I'm Mimi Torchin.
And you're listening to Lady Parts TV, the podcast.
Whee!
Hi, everybody.
Well, greetings and salutations. I haven't said that for a while.
That's right. Was it really you all this time?
All this time
Okay.
it was.
We don't have any stats for you because, a little spoiler alert, we're speaking to you from the past. When you'll be hearing this, we will have just gotten to New York after our trip from Martha's Vineyard. We knew in advance that we would not have the ability or the energy or the time.
Especially because our elevator is out. We live on the 5th floor and we will have a car stuffed to the top with things that I don't know why we take back and forth.
We decided it would be wiser to tape this in advance.
Yes.
So we don't have stats for you this week, but let's hope it was a good week.
Let's hope.
But we do have lots to tell you about. So, starting with, we have a movie review, a new movie called Miss Virginia. It opens in theaters, on demand, and digital October 18th. Written by Aaron O'Connor and directed by R.J. Daniel Hanna. And the cast is absolutely fantastic, starring Uzo Aduba, Ingenue Ellis, Amira Van, whom I love.
I love her.
Matthew Modine, Niles Fitch, who is, you'll recognize as one of the teenage Randall from This Is Us.
He's wonderful.
And in a small cameo,
tiny
but
role.
I'll take her in any size.
Williams.
Vanessa Williams. And this is the story. It's a true story.
Based on a true story.
It's a true story, and it's Uzo Aduba is playing an impoverished single mother.
She's Virginia.
She is Virginia. She is Miss Virginia, whose 15-year-old son. He is in a terrible, terrible high school in their neighborhood, and he's
In their very bad neighborhood.
Yes, and he's deteriorating. She can feel that she's losing him to the streets. This is Washington, D.C.
He's a very smart boy with
Very
a lot
smart
of
and very
promise.
talented. So she puts him in a private school. She tries everything within her power to afford it, and she comes short. And so she has to pull him out, and she decides that she's had enough. That it's not okay that education depends on your zip code, and she is in Washington, D.C. after all. She decides to change the system, and unfortunately she faces opposition both from the corrupt politicians but also from the local drug lords in her neighborhood. And the beginning of the movie is very painful because you're watching really the injustice of the world, and you just want to scream, and you know that this is just the tip of the iceberg, and that there's so much injustice all over the world and all over the country, and in so many ways, and especially now. But of course, as you can imagine, because this is the type of genre of this movie, it's a very uplifting story. The acting is wonderful.
The writing is very good.
Very good. It's a very compelling story in a very kind of a low-key way. It's not doing anything grandiose.
But it was thoroughly enjoyable.
It was.
And very it touched my heart.
It was nice to see Uzo Aduba play something very different from Crazy Eyes.
Crazy Eyes. She was wonderful. I loved her. I always love Anjouan Ellis, and she often plays a character who you're not quite sure what side of the fence she's on. And
I love Amira Van. I loved her in this role.
She's just delicious. She really, really is. You might remember Amira Van from Underground. She was not the star, but she wasn't
my star.
She was my star. She was the mother.
She captured me from the very
basically
first moment.
the main character, and she's wonderful.
Yummy.
And I don't mean that in a sexist way.
No, she's delicious. She's really fantastic.
Yes.
This was really a wonderful movie, and we highly recommend it. Again, it's called Miss Virginia, in theaters, on digital, and on demand, October 18th. Highly recommended. Now, let me just tell you in advance, we have a series of heads up for you now. There's tons coming, starting with...
I think Limetown.
You think?
Is going to be... I think it's the show that I'm looking forward to now the most of almost any new show that's coming up. The trailer was so intriguing, and I love Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel.
Sorry, Jessica. Anyway, it's created by Zach Akers and Skip Bronchi.
I know.
I don't know them, but it stars the wonderful Jessica Biel, Sherry Somm, who
The
we
wonderful
adore,
Sherry Somm.
Stanley Tucci again. Did we just?
He's in everything.
He's in everything, exactly.
But I love him.
Omar Elba and Marley Matlin.
Yeah.
And it's just right up my alley.
And let me just tell you, this is going to be on Facebook under the Facebook Watch streaming service. But how refreshing, even though it's Facebook, and I know Facebook is not
Mark
very
Zuckerberg
good.
is not our favorite person these days.
But at least
it's free.
It's free. So at least we're telling you about a show that's on streaming, but for free. Yes.
Not only is it free, but I would have paid to see it.
That's how good you think it is.
That's how good I think it is. And it's sort of like the Jamestown settlement that disappeared. 360 people in
It's in a neuroscience
research facility in Tennessee disappear. Boom, gone. And Leah Haddock is played by Jessica Biel, and she's a journalist for what would be NPR. It's called American Public Radio.
APR.
Yeah, APR. And she begins to try to unravel the mystery.
And scary shit happens.
Scary shit happens.
Yeah,
and she's told, drop this story or you and everybody you love, everybody you know, anyone you've ever met is going to die.
And the funny thing is, she says in the trailer, you can't scare me. And I was like, well, I'm scared.
I'm scared. Why aren't you scared? They're coming after you. Anyway, it looks scary, intense, and fabulous. And Liron and I thought
would like
we
to
might
point
have
out,
seen a lesbian kiss in there somewhere, but it could have been a guy with bad hair.
No, I think it was a lesbian kiss. I think it was a lesbian kiss. Now, whether it's a tease or an actual lesbian kiss, that's a different story.
Yes, and whether it's something beyond just a lesbian kiss that means nothing.
That's what I said, a tease or a real.
Is something that implies a lesbian character.
That would be really nice.
Anyway, Jessica Biel seems wonderful in this, as we know she is and can be.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait for this. I love this idea of they get a phone call to 911, a distress call, and it takes them about 16 minutes to get out there and SWAT everything. And by the time they get there, everybody's gone.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's based on a podcast, but obviously not on a true story, right?
Which almost everything is. I mean, I'm starting to think that there are no...
Should they make a movie or a series on Lady Parts TV, the podcast, you think?
Why not?
I think so, right?
Yeah,
we could play ourselves.
I don't think it would go very far if we played ourselves. But...
you want Meryl, I know, to play you.
Of course I would. I would settle
Wendy?
I would settle for Wendy.
You're not really settling. Anyway, we're so digressing.
Anyway, Wendy's too young to play me, except earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm 10 years older than
Susan Sarandon then.
No! Stop, I beg of you.
Okay, just us. Anyway, Limetown.
Limetown.
On
Premiering
Facebook
on
Watch.
Facebook Watch, October the 16th.
Yes, we'll be watching.
Definitely. And I guess it'll come once a week.
Well, Queen America
did.
So probably,
so,
yeah. Maybe we'll have to
suffer.
Maybe we'll have to wait and binge.
No, I want to watch it immediately.
Okay, and now you may have heard of this little streaming service coming our way.
Another one.
Yes, but okay, so here's the thing. This is Apple TV Plus, and the reason that I think it should be separated from Disney and CBS All Access and HBO is because Apple is Apple. It doesn't have any other streaming platform that it's trying to separate this from and charge more money.
Best, some of its best material
and then charge separate
money.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already making money. You're already one of the biggest networks, whatever.
Right.
So don't be so friggin' greedy.
But this is why I separate things like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon from CBS All Access and all those, because this is their an Acorn. This is their singular streaming service, and it actually isn't that expensive. It's $4.99 a month, and if you buy a new Apple device, then you actually get a year for free. And it seems to be coming up with some super duper material.
Do you think that's a good enough
reason to buy the new iPhone
or a new one of those nice big iPads like Lisa?
I don't think it's a good enough reason, but I think it's a nice incentive.
Okay.
So it's going to have really, really superior content.
Superior content. The shows look fantastic.
I mean, Apple doesn't do anything halfway, right? So we're going to tell you about the 4 shows that are premiering November 1st. starting with the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
I can't wait.
It's called The Morning Show. It's going to be a 10-episode season, but according to what I've already read, they've already been ordered for a second season. And when you hear who is in this, you will not. Yeah, exactly. You won't be surprised. The showrunner is Carrie Aaron. Even though I understand they've had a few changes and shifts in the productions in terms of showrunner and what they plan to do, because at first they planned on one thing, and then the hashtag Me Too happened, and then they completely switched the story. It stars Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon in the lead roles. Also Steve Carell, Gugu Mbatha-Raw, Billy Crudup, and Mark Duplass. I mean, it's a stellar cast.
And God knows who else, because it's a morning show. They're bound to have big guests. And
it's a morning show. How did you know that it was? It's called The Morning Show. Anyway, this is about the poor women and men who get up every day at like 3 or 2 a.m. to start their day. But it's not just about the putting up of a morning show. It's about Jennifer Aniston's character. She is the lead of this morning show, and her co-host, her partner, played by Steve Carell. They've been together for 15 years of hosting a morning show. Oh my God. Anyway, he is accused of a sexual misconduct.
I wonder who that's supposed to be. But anyway.
I know. There could be so many, but yeah. He is fired. And she has to now also fight to keep her job because Reese Witherspoon...
She's aging out.
Exactly. Not that Reese Witherspoon is, I don't think age-wise
she's
that different.
She plays someone younger.
Maybe.
Which Reese can get away with.
Well, she's described here as an aspiring journalist. I don't know how aspiring she could be at her age, but anyway, she's trying to take her place. And
but it looked to me during the run of the trailer that they start to work together a little bit.
Well, I hope so, because women being in competition with each other is not as interesting as
not
women
anymore.
collaborating.
That's right.
But I feel that there's a lot more to this than the description. Also, again, they were going in a completely different way, and then they decided they could not do it without doing
Me Too.
Me Too, both I think in terms of the sexual harassment scandal and probably equal pay.
Yes, all of this.
Sexual harassment in the workplace. So a lot of things. And Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon, of course, are also executive producing. It looks excellent.
It looks wonderful. It really does. I'm there.
The Morning Show.
Now this one looks terrific for many reasons. The first to us was
chiefly among them
Sonia Walger, who isn't even listed in the cast formally yet. It's called For All Mankind, 10 episodes, created by Ronald D. Moore, creator of it says here of the reimagined Battlestar Galactica, the one all of us watched and loved. I mean, the old one was kind of silly, the 70s one, but. And Joel Kinnaman, Michael Dorman, and Sarah Jones. And it
also star.
Yes, not created by them. It puts forth the idea of what if the Russians beat us to the moon, and we're really, really, really... The space war is really intensified.
It's kind of like The Man in the High Castle for space.
Yes, yes. And
you think that's how they pitched it?
Could be. That's about as much time as you get, and that's about how you have to pitch. The president at this time in the 60s decides that he wants to put a woman in space, the first woman in space. Unfortunately, there are no women astronauts. So this is about the training of the astronauts.
I think that's Sarah Jones. That's her character.
Yes. Politics, the politics of space, the
women in space.
The idea of women in space. Yes, it looks very good to me. I'm absolutely fascinated.
And when you say it looks good, you're also talking about Sonia
Walger. I'm always talking about Sonia Walger.
Especially when you say it looks good. We love her in many, many ways, not just superficially.
No, not just superficially, but superficially as well. And I love the space race. I love all of that. I've seen every movie,
there's something very compelling about that.
It is. And
claustrophobic.
Well, but it's about expanding. We're killing our planet. We may have to be thinking about other planets to go out and kill.
That's that's not how I see it. I see it in terms of the what it takes.
Wonder.
What it takes for a person to decide to go to space.
Yeah.
And especially we saw that in the wonderful, unfortunately canceled Hulu series, what was it, First Man?
Oh, First
with
Man.
Sean Penn and Natasha.
It was a wonderful series.
McLachlan. Wonderful, wonderful, which focused not on being in space, but on what it takes to decide to do it, to train to do it. So hopefully this also...
What happens to the people left behind.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm looking forward to this very much.
For all mankind. And womankind, too.
Absolutely. That's what they should have called it.
Right,
for all
womankind.
Okay, here's another wonderful looking show. It's called Dickinson. We'll give you one guess as to who it's about. Now, the twist on this is that it's half-hour episodes, which, officially kind of turns it into a comedy, but it's not.
No, they call it a black comedy, a darkly comic coming-of-age story, but we didn't see a lot of comedy.
Well... Okay, so it's created and written by Elena Smith, who is also from The Newsroom and The Affair, so great pedigree, starring Haley Steinfeld
Wonderful actress.
As Emily Dickinson, and Jane Krakowski as her mother.
It's come to this, has it, Jane?
Well, this is about the young teenage Emily Dickinson, and it's about her early beginnings and how she rebelled against society, against gender norms, and even against her own family to become the legend that she has become. And
another great literary figure.
Yep. And it's, even though, of course, she is sarcastic and there's a lot of dark humor in this, it's by no means a comedy from what we can tell. And we prefer it to not be a comedy. It looked really, really good.
It did indeed.
It does seem
looks intelligent. It looks...
how could it not be if it's talking about Emily Dickinson? I mean, why bother?
My favorite female poet.
And there were, again, from the trailer, it seems like there are hints of young, budding lesbian feelings. But we'll see what happens when we actually watch the show.
It's not a must.
No, I'm just saying, listen, I think it's worth pointing out when there's the potential. Anyway, it looks really, really good. And Haley Steinfeld looks excellent in this role.
She's a wonderful actress. There's nothing she can't. She's another one who really, there's nothing she can't do ever since... she was in the remake of True Grit. And she was a child practically, and she stole the movie.
So Dickinson, also as the rest of them, November 1st on Apple TV Plus. And finally,
well, once again, I get the.
Well, this is a show you'll probably watch without me.
The weird show. This is called C.
SEE, as in C.
Not as Sue sees it. With a C on your forehead. No, C, as in sight. It's written by Stephen Knight, directed by Francis Lawrence, starring Alfre Woodard and Jason Momoa,
also known as Aquaman. Right?
Oh, or Drago.
Okay.
Please.
I'm so sorry.
God, from Game of Thrones. Khal Drago, is that? Anyway, you know who he was. This one is set 600 years in the future, which looks like 600 years in the past.
Can I just say they are highly optimistic? I don't think the world will exist in 600 years. So the fact that they think that far, that's really optimistic.
Anyway, it's fiction, okay? A virus has decimated the population, and everybody is blind. Everybody, I guess, born is blind.
I think everybody has been blind for a while.
Long time.
They've come to just expected
live as blind people. I mean, that's their society. They know how to get along. Humans have adapted to new ways of living. However, all of a sudden, a pair of twins are born, and they can see. And therein hangs the tale. What does it mean? What does it mean for the future? How do people feel about it? Some people think it's a sign of something wonderful. Some people think it's a sign of evil. And that is where we begin. And it looks really, really, really good to me.
For you.
For me.
It doesn't look like it's something that I will be. I mean, it looks, I can appreciate it, but I'm not going to watch it.
I think it looks really interesting. And
I think a lot of you,
I will be there.
Your cup of tea. Yeah.
See it.
Go see it. I mean, stay home
and see it.
Or see it on your Apple Watch.
On the subway or while you're walking down the street.
Oh, gosh. Just not when you're crossing the street.
While you're washing windows or climbing Mount Everest.
We're so old-fashioned. We prefer to watch on the big screen.
Yep. The bigger the better.
So these are the 4 shows premiering November 1st on Apple TV Plus. They're going to have much more. They already have shows coming up that
they will
don't
all be exceptional because they have a lot of money and
yes.
they have a name that they must maintain.
Yes.
Certain status. I tend to believe that everything they're going to put out is going to be the highest quality, like
sure.
HBO
For sure.
generally is.
Yeah. And we're looking forward to it. But for now, this is the things that are really coming out. And now we're going to go on a little bit of a hiatus because I'm going to Israel, and then I have to come back and
we can't just do lady part.
Anyway, you wouldn't even know how to operate this mic.
No, but I could speak into the camera without the mic.
You could.
I'm not an idiot, you know.
No. This is a podcast.
The podcast,
yes.
right? Yes. No, I'm thinking of the
vlog.
The vlog.
Anyway, you can do Mimi live. You
I'm
can
going to do
live
nothing.
Exactly. Let's face it.
I'm going to do what I like doing best.
Exactly.
Sitting in bed watching TV or working on my photos.
Mimi waits for me to go to Israel so that we have to go on hiatus.
So I can stay up late and watch TV all night long.
So anyway, when I come back, we will be in a marathon to watch everything that will be accumulating on the DVR while I'm away. But we will come back as soon as possible. In early November, we already have a few movies that we need to review for you, and God knows what else will come. And then it's award season, so lots of movies. Anyway,
have a wonderful time while we're gone.
Have a wonderful time.
Lots for you to watch.
Our social media will be active on European time zone, so that will be fun. But in terms of the podcast and the vlogs, yes, we will be back in November. And email us as always, ladyfartstv@gmail.com.
Happy fall.
Happy fall, and we will see you very soon again. Bye.
Au revoir.